Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. So we're going to focus on lower body today, getting everything stretched and open, maybe from a car ride, maybe just from sitting too much all day. Remember, I'm still dealing with that broken foot, so you're going to see lots of modifications. I've moved down to a blanket. We're getting there, one step at a time. Remember, sitting on a block or a blanket or a couple of pillows is a great way to make this posture a little bit more accessible. We're only going to sit here for a couple of minutes because we might have been doing too much sitting in general, but the goal right now is to relax your upper body in whatever way you can, hands in whatever position feels good. Lift through the crown of your head. Let your shoulders hang down a little bit more. Maybe you even drop your chin and you start with a little neck stretch here. But just take a few breaths. Close your eyes. See where you're feeling any tension in your body. And then see if you can breathe into that area and release that tension. So maybe it's in the hips. Maybe it's in the shoulders. See if you can fill your lungs fully. And then as you exhale, you release any tension and you relax just a little bit more. Remember, yoga is about bringing the energy through our body. Nice deep breaths. And let's start. We can keep the eyes closed. We're just going to bring some movement through the hips. We're going to lean forward on our inhale, circling. And then we round the back on the exhale. So circle on your hips. You can bring your hands to the mat or your ankles and just find some movement in your hips and your spine. Bring that energy through. Focus in on your breath. So lean on your inhales, lifting the heart. Exhale, big round of your back. We'll do a couple more this direction. And then we'll go the other way. So circle the other direction, rounding, big stretch, and then lift the heart. Just see if you can feel your torso moving in the hip sockets. We're just finding our flow. This helps to bring energy through the body. So we're building energy for our practice today. Warming up through the spine. So a couple more. Circling, big movements. And then big rounding of your back, nice and centered. And then we're going to do a couple just here. Lift your heart, big inhale. And then exhale, chin to chest, navel to spine, round your back, really stretch through the shoulder blades. Let's do one more, lifting on your inhale and round on your exhale. And then release. Roll those shoulders. Let's stretch those legs out right away. We're just going to work on opening up our lower body today. So right away, shake them out. Give yourself a little massage or a little tapping through those legs, whatever feels good. Get that energy moving, okay? You could be pointing your toes and curling them. It's really going to be up to you, okay? Remember, this is a very personal practice, so we want to do what feels good. Okay. So to start our practice, we're going to start with some forward folds. So let's turn to the side of our mat. Remember, if it's difficult to sit up tall, tuck a blanket rolled up underneath your knees. This is going to help give you that bit more of a stretch while keeping your spine straight. Every forward fold is about a straight spine and not about reaching. Move your thighs, find your sit bones. Hips, knees, and ankles are in alignment. We draw our toes back towards our torso and we sit up nice and tall. You can bring your hands to your side for a breath. Lift and lengthen. See how high can you lift up. So not slouching. Lift, lift, lift. And we're going to inhale and we're going to draw those arms up. This is another cue to lengthen. And then we hinge forward from the hips and then we just relax the arms down. Now remember, don't round to reach. Just think about a light shining from your heart out ahead. Can always use a strap around the feet if you want to get a little bit more of a stretch, or you need to even out on one side. from an injured foot. Completely up to you. Take a few breaths, let your head hang and relax. Think about opening through your legs, but also through the lower back. So we want to find a big stretch here. Really release this area. Open up, pull those toes back as far as you can for one more breath. And then release. Come up and draw your feet together. So we're going to keep moving back and forth. So this time we're just bringing our feet together and we're letting our knees hang open. Remember, we have three options. So we can relax and round on an inhale, and then exhale and sit up nice and tall and press down, and then release on the inhale, and then press down on the exhale, or hold. Or you could take your thumbs to the balls of your feet, pull them open a little bit more, and then press the elbows or forearms into your legs so that you can lean forward. Remember, listen to your body. Find length through your spine first and foremost. And then, can you lean forward? Take a few breaths here. Relax your shoulders down. Lift up through your spine a little bit more. Focus in on your breath no matter where you are. And then release. Inhale, come up. Stretch out the legs. This time nice and wide. So take them wide. You can curl your toes back or you can point them. Completely up to you. And how wide you take it is again up to you. You could tuck blankets underneath each side. Lift and lengthen, arms up on the inhale. And then exhale. Maybe you lean forward only a little bit. Okay? Do what feels good. Don't round to reach. Just sit up tall and fold to a comfortable position. Take a couple of breaths. See if you can think about really rotating your torso in your hip sockets. So you're going to feel more of a stretch through the inner thigh and the inside back of the knee. And as we're here, if you would like to, walk those hands over to one side. You could even reach for your ankle or just stack the hands. So if you go to the right side, left hand's on top, and we think about opening up through the left side of the body, getting a little bit more of a stretch through the ribs. And then we come back to center, and we just go across to the other side. If it's the left side, the right hand's on top, so then we can think about opening up through the right side of our body. And then we come back to center. And we lift up one more time, and then we fold a little bit. Might already feel a little bit better. Remember to relax the head down. Focus on rotating the torso. And then inhale and come up. We're going to bring those legs back together. Make sure that we're in nice alignment here. And then we're going to bend the right foot and just bring it in. Press it into your thigh. Curl back those left toes. And we're going to face our torso towards our left leg with an inhale. Arms come up. And then we exhale and we lengthen, reaching for the foot. Again, not rounding the back. Using a strap if you'd like. Bringing it around the ball of the foot. Lengthen like there's a light shining from your heart over or through your foot. Relax the shoulders. Notice how this side feels, so when we do the other side, we know that next time maybe we need to hold one side a little bit longer than the other so we can find evenness in left to right. Take 2 more breaths here. And then release. Come up, and we're going to switch. So we straighten out the right leg. We make sure we're still on that sit bone, and then the left foot comes in to the left thigh. Noticing I'm still adjusting with that blanket. Right foot, toes draw back towards your torso. Turn the torso towards your foot. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Relaxing those arms down. Again, it's not how far you reach. It's about how you hinge your torso from your hips. You can relax the head slightly and just take a few deep breaths. How different is this from the left leg being extended? Try to lengthen and lift from your lower back. Avoid that rounding through the middle back and the shoulders. Again, that light is shining from your heart over or through your foot, depending on how far you're folding forward. The arms are just nice and relaxed in whatever position is comfortable. Take 2 more deep breaths. Really focus in. And then we're going to release and come up on our inhales. Stretch out your left leg. Now we're going to even it out from side to side. So both legs stretch out long, even on your sit bones. Feet in line with your hips, lifting on our inhales, and then folding on our exhales, reaching out. Again, using a strap if you'd like. Having a blanket underneath the knees also helps keep the attention on the lower back area a little bit more. Two more deep breaths. How does this feel different from the first one that we did? And then release. Coming up, we're going to come and turn, and we're going to come onto our hands and knees first, and then we're going to go into child's pose. So remember, the option is always there to take a blanket for a little bit of extra padding or a little bit of height if you have a foot injury. And we're going to bring our knees under our hips first. We're going to reach our arms out, and then we're going to bring our hips back towards our heels and our torso towards our thighs, and we're going to relax down. So the first one, find a stretch for a moment. Reach through the arms and see if you can find a bit of a stretch through your spine for a breath or two, and then relax the arms and rest the head on the mat or your palms stacked or your fist or even a block or blanket. But just notice how your hips feel here. Take a few breaths and feel the belly expand into your thighs. And feel your back expand with each breath. We're going to take a couple of more breaths in this variation. So we think about letting our lower back open and expand. We let our hips fall a little bit closer to our heels. And then on an inhale, we're going to slowly come up. But we're just doing a small adjustment. We'll bring our knees out to the edge of our mat. Big toes touch. And then come back into child's pose. And notice the difference. So how does this feel compared to the traditional method? Do you feel a difference in your hips? Relax the upper body again. Still feeling the torso expand into the thighs. Just a different sensation through the hips. Two more breaths here. Let your hips hang just a little bit more. And then slowly coming up on the inhale. Bring the wrists under your shoulders and the knees under your hips. Spread your hands nice and wide. Get that stretch through your palms. Unlock your elbows and make sure that you're pushing out of your shoulders. So we have a nice strong tabletop position. And we'll just do a little bit of those cat stretches. So drop the belly, lift the hips, and just look up a little bit on your inhale. Exhale, chin to chest, navel to spine, rounding the back. Big stretch. Looking up and back. 2 more big breaths. Notice the difference from this tabletop variation to the seated variation we did earlier. Feel the hips push forward as you round the back. 1 more. And then back to tabletop. We're going to lift our right leg and we're going to take it back. We're going to push into the toes. So spread every toe into the mat or the floor and then push into your right heel. Very important. Make sure to look at your toes. Is every single one on the mat? Can you push into that heel evenly so you have a great stretch through the calf, through the whole leg here, pushing out of your palms. It's still engaging the abs so we have a nice strong middle body. And then we'll come back to center and just 1 more breath. Really push into that heel and then release. Bring that knee back underneath your hip. And then now left foot reaches back. Spread the toes and then push your heel. So one side might feel better than the other. You might need to be a little bit more gentle, recovering from an injury. But the goal is to feel every toe on the mat so that that stretch is even and that you're using the foot evenly from side to side. Two more big breaths. Push out of your palms. Abs are still engaged. And then we come back to center. And take a moment, get the weight off the hands, come onto your knees. Bring the hands to your hips. Camera's a little off today. Sorry, guys. Push out with the hips. Hands on the lower back. Push, find a stretch through your hips here. And then release. Okay. We're going to come into a little bit of a lunge. So bring your hands back to the mat and we're going to walk them over. And then you're going to bring your right foot forward. So however you need to get there, move it slow and then take your foot and just shimmy it forward. Now you have a lot of options here. You can come up with your hands on your thigh, okay? Bringing that weight into it. You could keep your hands on the ground. It's whatever feels good. But remember, the further you bring that foot forward, the more you can lean into it. The goal is to have your knee over your ankle. Now remember to move slowly and make sure you still have hips distance between your feet, okay? So if you're on one line, you're going to be struggling and be wobbly. So take your right foot towards the edge of your mat and see if you can bring your knee over your ankle. Now we're going to take a couple of breaths here. And I'm going to challenge you a little bit. So this is up to you. You can stay here, okay? Feel that great stretch through the front of the hips. If you'd like to bend your left leg, you'll get a stretch through the quad, okay? This is going to be a big stretch here. And it's going to challenge your balance. So if it's too much, put that leg right back down, okay? Even a little bit of bend is going to stretch it a lot. Now, I know we have all different levels. So the next thing would be grabbing the hand to the foot. That's my bad foot. I'm not going to even attempt it. It's up to you. Okay, take 2 more breaths in whatever variation feels good. Okay, we're going to release and we're going to slowly shift back for a moment. Now this is one more challenge. So you're going to slowly, and I mean very slowly, it helps with balance. Shift back and see if you can pull your toes towards you. You can lean into it and just touch with your fingertips. You could have blocks next to you. If you're super flexible, you can fold forward. But just take one more breath here. See if you can find that stretch through your leg. And then we're going to release. So you can ease off. And then however you need to get there, just move nice and slow. Tighten your core as you move your leg. That's going to help a lot. Okay, now we're going to go into the other side. So walk your hands over, find that position, and then see if you can pick up your left leg and then draw it forward. Now remember, scoot that foot toe, inching the toes forward, and then keep it towards the left side of your mat. Hands on the mat, hands on the thigh. You could sit up tall, you could lean into it. The goal is a big stretch here through the front of the hips and choosing the variation that works best for you. If you have a lot of flexibility in the hips, the next thing would be coming down onto the forearms. You'll notice I stick for a middle variation in everything. I want you to see and test it out for yourself. Where is your body? Goal is knee over the ankle, and where's the weight on your left foot? Don't let it fall to the left side and have your knee open. Try to keep your whole foot centered and flat on the mat, and your right foot is fully relaxed. And then if you want that extra stretch, bend at the knee, and then you could even grab the right hand to the foot. Again, not necessary, just bending the knee is a lot. It's a big challenge for our balance, so if we engage the abs, it helps us stabilize. Just want to take a nice stretch here. Take 2 more big breaths wherever you are. Just try to enjoy the moment. Feel that opening through the hips. And then we're going to release the leg. We're going to slowly shift back. I mean slow. The slower you move, the more stability you're going to have. Draw your toes back. You can even reach your hand a little bit. Remember, we want it even from side to side. So right now for me, recovering, my big toe side is stronger and pulling in. So I'm going to pull on that pinky toe side to straighten my foot out. We want it even, like there's a block or a piece of wood or something flat that's keeping your foot even from side to side. And then we're going to release. So we release and we slowly come back. We come onto our knees and we're going to come into child's pose. So reach your arms out, whatever that means for you, knees out wide or knees hips distance. Hips to heels, relax the torso down. Take a few breaths, notice the difference, what's changed, how much easier is this pose. Let your body relax. There's a big challenge for our balance. Take that weight off the arms by either stacking your palms and resting your head or bringing your arms around your body, your legs, so that your palms are up by your feet facing the sky. But just try to relax fully for a moment. Two more breaths. Just noticing the change. Maybe this feels a lot more comfortable than the very first time. And then we'll bring our hands back by our head and we'll slowly come back up onto our hands and knees. One more variation before we come and lay on our back. So make sure great alignment, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. We're going to reach the right leg out. So reach all the way through your toes. See if you can feel your hip joint opening. Try to keep that leg level. Now the option is there if you'd like to lift the left arm. Feeling slightly wobbly with my bad leg and foot. So I'm going to keep both hands on the ground. If you lift that left arm, try to find a cross-body stretch. So you're reaching from your left fingers all the way down through the back, from your left shoulder to your right hip, all the way down to your right toes. We're just doing a big stretch here. You still have to engage the core, but see if you can really feel that hip opening for one more breath. And then release. Bring the hand and the knee back down. Find center. And then left leg reaches. So point those toes. See if you can find that length. And then that option is there to reach that right arm. Try to keep that palm a little diagonal so you have a relaxed feeling. And again, reach from the fingers through the right shoulder, across to your left hip and down to your left toes. A big stretch through the whole body. Even if we're both hands on the mat, we're still really reaching with that left leg. Opening up through the hip joint. And then we release. And we'll come back. We'll do one active child's pose for a moment. So push your hands out in front a little bit and then push out. Big stretch through the whole spine. Try to open up through your lower back. Reach through the arms for a really big stretch here. And then release. Come up on your inhale. And we're going to come and lay on our mats with our knees up towards the sky. Taking a moment. Make sure we have that great alignment. So lying on your back, nice straight spine. Lift your hips for a moment. Let that lower back come closer to the mat. Knees are either in line, hips, knees, and ankles, or knees to the center, feet out to the sides of your mat. Whatever's going to let you relax for a few breaths. Feel your lungs expand. So feel them expand into your mat. Feel your belly full and then navel to spine. Take this moment to notice any tension you might be holding still, and can you release it? Can you relax your face and your neck and shoulders? And now release your belly and the abs, and every muscle is just fully relaxed. Just our feet pushing into the mat to help keep our knees up towards the sky. Couple of more big breaths here. Just taking this moment to notice our spine and our body. Great. Everyone's going to bring their hips, knees, and ankles in alignment. If you have a block, we can always bring it between our legs. This helps keep our knees in alignment. We're going to lift our hips. But when we do this, I want you to be very aware of the weight in your feet. So how close your feet are towards your hips is up to you. Bring the arms down the side of your body so that your palms are by your hips and they can press into the mat and your shoulders press down as well. Don't tuck your chin to your chest. Have it slightly lifted towards the sky. And we're going to push into our feet and we're going to peel our back up off the mat. So peel the lower and middle back up and push the hips towards the sky, squeezing the glutes. And we're going to do some spine rolls. So we're going to come back down. Middle, lower back, and then hips. And release. Press your lower back into the mat. Lift the hips, and then as much of the spine as you can, lift up towards the sky, and then relax down. One vertebrae at a time, and then you release. And then you secure that lower back to the mat, and then you lift the hips, and you lift up one vertebrae at a time. Pushing up nice and high, and then you release. all the way down. We're going to do a couple more. So press your lower back, engaging the abs, lift, squeezing the glutes, push those hips up, and then relax down. One more. Press the lower back in, lift the hips, lower middle back, maybe part of the upper back, and then relax down all the way. And then bring your knees in towards your chest, hugging them on the outside of your knees or behind your knees, whatever feels good. Just release that area for a moment. Pull them in nice and tight. You can even circle, or you could rock from side to side. Whatever feels good. And then release. Let both feet hit the ground first, and then extend your left leg out nice and long. And draw the right knee into the chest. Pull it in tight. Again, you could do on the outside of the knee or behind the knee, and bend or straighten that leg just a little bit. This variation with the leg up a little bit more and pulling in tighter is great for sciatica. You could also just have that knee in towards the chest, both hands on the outside, but do what feels best. Play around with your variations as always. Foot is nice and relaxed. Both feet, relax them, let go of any tension. That's going to allow you to open up a little bit more. And then we're going to release the right hand, right elbow, tucks in, right hands around the right knee, pull up, and then let that leg fall open to the right side. Bring your left hand to your left hip as a cue to keep it on the mat. And again, check in on your feet, nice and relaxed. We're not holding any tension. We're just using that lift of the arm to pull up and open up through the hips. Okay, let's come back to center. And then switch hands. So left hand grabs, right arm relaxes, and we go up and then across about 45 degrees. Push your right hip towards your mat. That's what's going to give you the stretch around the hip area. And more you pull up, the more you'll feel it. Remember, it's not a twist. It's just a nice stretch for our hips. Okay, let's come back to center. Hug that knee in towards your chest. Stretch it out long. Reach the arms overhead to even out from side to side. Just a big stretch here for a moment. And then release. And then this time left knee comes up. So we pull it in towards the chest. Again, there's that option with both hands on the outside of your knee. Or bring the hands behind your knee and straighten that leg a little bit so the toes are up to the sky. It's whatever variation feels good. Relax both feet. Let them go. Just let them hang in whatever direction that is for your body. Few more breaths here. What feels best? Is it that leg up in the sky, or is it just pulling that knee to the chest? Relax through your upper body a little bit more. Now we're going to release the right hand. That left hand's going to come around the left knee. Tuck the elbow into the thigh, pull up, and then let your leg hang open to the left side. Right hand on the right hip. Cue to keep it on the mat so we get that great stretch. If you're not feeling it, pull up a little bit more and then let everything hang open. Again, checking on your feet. Are they relaxed? Few more breaths here. Are you still breathing all the way down through to your belly? All right, come back to center. Switch the arms. So grab with your right hand, relax the left arm, pull up, and then go across about 45 degrees. Relax your feet and shoot that left hip towards your mat. Pull up on that knee so it comes closer to your chest. You might even feel your belly expand into your left thigh. Right, one more big breath here. Let's come back to center. Knee to chest. And then stretch that leg out nice and long. Reach the arms overhead again. Stretch out through the front of your body. Big stretch here. Okay, let's walk our legs over. Relax your body. Walk your legs to your right side. We're going to make a banana or crescent moon shape. So legs go over to the right. Right ankle crosses over the left. And then we're going to reach our arms and our upper body towards the right side as well. So we take the right hand to the left wrist. And we're finding a stretch through the side of the left side from your ribs down to your hip. Big stretch and release. Open everything up really long. Feel that hip expand. Take a couple of breaths here. Now unwrap the arms and the legs. And we come back to center with everything first. And then the legs go across to the left side. Left ankle crosses over the right. Arms reach, and then left hand to right wrist. Just helps with that little bit of extra extension. And we're thinking, how can we open from our right arm through the ribs, down the hip, through the thigh? Big stretch in this crescent moon or banana shape. Okay, a couple more breaths here. Find that stretch through the whole side of your body. And then release. Unwrap everything. Length through the middle first. Lift from the arms to the legs. And then one knee comes up and then the other. We're going to pull them in tight. Now you can stay here and you can rock or circle, or if you want to insert a happy baby pose, feel free. So you can reach those feet up to the sky, and then arms to the inside, hands to the outside of your feet, and we pull down. Remember, this is a great stretch to use a strap for, and we take that strap all the way across the feet, and then the arms grab it. Try to relax your lower back here so it comes closer to the mat. Remember, if you're new to yoga practice, please stay with your hands around your knees. This requires a lot of hip opening. It will come over time. 70% is what we go for so that we can relax and not push ourselves too far. Let's take one more breath wherever you are. And then we'll release. Bring your hands around your knees if you were in happy baby for a second, and then feet to the ground. Okay, one more little opening for the hips and lower back. Arms come out to the side. Feet are on the mat, hips, knees, and ankles. Making a T or a cross, press into your palms and shoulders. And then let your knees go to one side. So you come onto the outside of one foot and then the inside of the other. One hip is off the mat. Then we come back to center and we go across to the other side. Now you can keep swaying from side to side, or you could choose to hold one side for a few breaths and then go across to the other. But just do what feels good. Feel those hips open a little bit more as we get a little bit of a spine twist or stretch here. And just gently move back and forth. Let's do a couple of more rounds or just a couple of more breaths. Okay, finish whatever round you're on, both sides. Or one more breath if you're holding, and then we'll come back to center. We'll draw our knees in towards our chest. And then we're going to stretch our legs out nice and long. Remember, it's just a few breaths here with our nice straight spine. Make sure your feet are shoulder width or more and dangling to the side, fully relaxed. Make sure your spine is nice and straight and your shoulders are really hanging down to the mat. Place your hands on your belly or your palms to the sky. And just let your breath return to its natural rhythm. You're welcome to close the eyes. You could focus on how your breath feels, or you could imagine your favorite place. Or just drawing positive energy into your body. Maybe you feel a white light coming in and then you're releasing what doesn't serve you. But just take a couple of more breaths here. Relax the space between your eyes and soften your jaw. Feel that your hips are nice and open. You're feeling more energy running through the whole lower body, giving you that strength and stability to carry you throughout your day. One more big breath. Big exhale, releasing any tension. And then I'm going to say one more. Big inhale all the way down. Fill every part of your body. And then big release. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Roll your wrists and your ankles. Feet come together. Arms go overhead. Giant stretch. Feel that opening of your hips one more time. Whole front of your body is open and expanded. And then we release. And then we lift one knee and then the other. We lift our hips to one side and we roll to the other. And then we use that top arm to push up, nice and slow. And we come back into our seated position, whatever that was. We sit in the same position so that we can notice the change. How different does our body feel? We just take a moment, lifting through the crown of the head, the shoulders hang down. And we just kind of do a little check-in. Is our mind still? Breath more extended and long? Do we feel more relaxed and at ease? We're going to carry that feeling throughout our day. We take a big inhale, arms come up. Exhaling, come down, bringing the hands to the heart, drawing that good energy in. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed today's session. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.